A good Monday morning. It's the holidays. A good Tuesday morning to you. How are you doing today? Hopefully well. I hope you're doing well. It's Jim with Cyber-Recon. I've got my illy coffee in my Montana cup. There's a lot going on today. There's a ton in the news, as always. In the cyber world, there's always stuff going on. That's why if you're going to be in the field, you got to stay up on what's going on. So, first up tonight. First up this morning, we're talking about Silent Night. So, Silent Night is a variant of the banking Trojan that was initially called Zeus. The big thing you need to know about Silent Night is it's being sold on the dark net, the digital underground. And not only are they selling the code, really they're selling the distribution or the attack platform itself. So I think it's about $4,000. Let's see. Yeah. Underground forums are saying the botnet is sold at the price of about $4,000 per month. Doesn't say exactly how many bots you're getting with that. Not in this article from Cyware Social, but it's about $4,000 a month. You're getting a botnet. You're getting the attack platform ready to go. You're getting the malware. You're getting everything. So we can expect more on this as the month unfolds. Zeus Sphinx was created earlier. This particular attack seems to be Silent Night seems to be used against normal people instead of the banking environment that the Zeus Trojan was originally targeted for. Now it's kind of going after the same thing we've seen for the last couple months. It's using COVID-19 as its deployment scheme. So it's sending emails, it's sending some way of getting social engineering to you to get this malware loaded on your system. And once it gets on there, it's going to perform key logging, taking screenshots, steal cookies and passwords from Chrome. It's got some injections against web browsers. It looks like it's going after Mozilla, Firefox, and Internet Explorer, the big three. So, gotta watch out for this stuff. Watch out for opening emails that you just don't know where they're coming from. So Silent Night's pretty bad out there. We also have more news from the WhenAny group, and again, this is claimed to be Chinese hackers. And what's really big is they're using this pipe bomb, which is a print pipe compromise to target users to be attacked. They've gone after a number of Taiwanese video game companies. That's why, again, we think the Chinese government hackers are always targeting Taiwanese folks. This guy's been around since 2012. It's a PipeMon. The module is a DLL module. Again, DLL exploits are kind of hard because you're pulling from different libraries. But the big thing about this is the WhenAny's group, their big move into being more of a permanent attack group. So a group we're probably going to see for a long time. This print processor exploit is just their latest technique to exploit systems. Again, mostly exploiting game companies right now in Taiwan, but obviously we think about that as a longer-term game they can use to exploit the supply channel for folks that are buying those games. As multi-purpose or multiplayer online games are the biggest targets this guys are going after. So the big thing about WhenAny, this attack is just yet another attack in a string, but it's proving they're in for the long term. They're a group that's going to be around for a while, so we'll probably keep seeing WhenAny for a while. I guess they get a logo fairly soon. I haven't seen anybody producing a WhenAny logo. We see logos for Busy Bear and all kinds of other attack groups, but I have not seen anything for these cats yet. Ragnar Locker. This, again, another attack that's been out there for a while. Ragnar Locker, of course, is a locker program. It's out to encrypt your files, keep you from getting them, keeping you away from your files. In the past, this thing has used RDP, or remote desktop protocol or procedure, to get in. Now it's a little bit different. It's changed up just a little bit. They're installing an Oracle VirtualBox on exploited systems, and then they're using that to encrypt and hide the file system. Almost always, I think, I'm not sure if it's every single time, but almost always you'll see a network attack first, and then the Ragnar Locker gets put in place. So if you're doing your work for a corporate environment, be on the lookout for network attacks first. Typically, targeting some type of remote management. It's been around since 2019, December 2019. Anything exciting? Yeah, it's even trying to get it after GPOs. Biggest thing, watch where you get stuff. Watch where you're downloading stuff. Install malware protection. Make sure it's from a trusted source. Do regular backups. And keep those things offline. There's got to be a way to keep them away from the bad folks. Last week, I think it was last week, we talked about this bias attack where we could attack Bluetooth using known contacts in a person's phone and exploiting that to allow access to Bluetooth either in the slave or master mode. Well, these folks in Germany, some researchers in Germany, have determined that we can use that same bias attack, and if we're using a dual-purpose chipset, and that's a chipset that's got both Bluetooth and Wi-Fi on the same chip, they can use this Spectra attack that they've come up with and jump between the two. So they can exploit a single chip. If you have Bluetooth and Wi-Fi on the same chip, we can use this bias attack and not only attack the Bluetooth system, but also jump over and work in the Wi-Fi attack as well. Obviously, it's a bad thing because if you can exploit the Bluetooth and jump over to Wi-Fi, then possibly get on a corporate network that the device is connected to do further exploits. It says the German researchers have determined that they've used chips including but not limited to the Broadcom and Cypress I'll try that again. The chips include the Broadcom and Cypress combo chips, which are in iPhones, MacBook, Samsung Galaxy S series phones, and other mobile devices. So just between those, between Galaxy and MacBook, that's a huge chunk of the population. So again, Spectra, right now it's in research. Researchers, the good guys have got it. But obviously if they've got it, then the bad guys can have it too. The bias attack, so they're going to have to get close. The attacker's going to have to get close to you to do the Bluetooth attack. But they can do the Bluetooth bias attack, exploit Bluetooth, and then if it's a combo chipset, then they can jump on your Wi-Fi and possibly exploit the local Wi-Fi network. So if you're on a corporate network that's got your Wi-Fi all hooked up, you could be in trouble. And Facebook is last on our list today, and it's a good thing. Usually we focus a lot on the attacker's point of view. This is Bluetooth. This is it definitely feels like a second Monday. Facebook's introducing in-app notifications to warn you about potential scammers. The biggest protection for this is if an adult is impersonating somebody younger to contact a minor. That's one of the big triggers that's going to be set off by this in-app notification. Another one is when people are asking you for money. So if an adult's asking to contact a child, someone under the age of 18, they're going to receive an attempted spam alert with this. And also if someone's asking you for money. They claim it's like someone's going to tap you on the shoulder to warn you, hey, this could be not a good thing. So those are your big stories of the day. That's what's going on as of 7 a.m. today in the cyber world. Obviously, as the day rolls on, new stuff will be out there that gives you a jump start on what's going on today. I'll always throw those links in the show notes once we get the broadcast done this morning. Also, important to know, today is Sally Ride Day. Sally Ride, Dr. Sally Ride accomplished the feat of being a mission specialist on STS-7, the second space flight of the Shuttle Challenger. She was the first American woman in space in June 18th, 1983. Seems like June 18th would be the day we should have Sally Ride Day. But this is, it's always celebrated on May 26th. More women in technology and science is important. More people in cyber is what we need overall. So that's the rundown of your news and highlights of the day. We'll have our little intro, and we'll jump into an overview of what's coming ahead for Domain 2 of your Security Plus exam. So hang out after that. We'll be right back, and we'll jump into the slides. Welcome back, as Mr. Cotter used to say. Welcome back. So, we are jumping into a new domain. So this is domain number 2 of your Security Plus exam preparation. Also, a good foundation for just knowing what's going on in the security world if you're out here working already. So, let's take a look at what's going on. This is Domain 2. The title of this domain is Technologies and Tools. Subjects in this domain cover 22% of the exam. There is a lot to cover. Just like Domain 1, there's a lot to cover in this domain. So in this overview, we're not going to go very deep into any of the subdomains. But we'll cover the high points, right? So 2.1, install and configure network components, hardware and software based, to support organizational security. We'll just call this one network security, right? This is going to be things like you see on the slide here: firewalls, VPN concentrators, NIDs, or network intrusion detection systems, or host-based intrusion detection systems, or HIDs. Obviously, routers, proxies, load balancers, access points, SIEMs, or security event monitoring solutions, DLP, NAC, mail gateways, bridges, SSL and TLS. Probably be concentrating on TLS, transport layer security, SSL decryptors, media gateways, and hardware security modules. A lot, as you can see, a lot going on. A good thing to note about this, install and configure components. We're going to talk about these things at a higher level, but I will point you the place you need to go to be able to do some of this work on your own, to practice, to get spun up, because there's only so much time we're going to cover each of these. We're going to cover what you need to know for the exam, but if you want to go in depth into any of these things, it could be something as simple as setting up the firewall on your Windows box, or your Mac box, or your Linux box, or we'll point you at some open source software. You can build your own firewall for your home network. Same thing along the way for some of the other things. Like switches and routers, you're going to need the hardware to mess with it. We'll show you where you can get some virtualized versions to do the same thing. You probably have an access point in your house. Show you how to secure that, lock it down. So a lot of stuff to cover in this module. 2.2, given a scenario, use the appropriate software tools to assess the security posture of an organization. We will call this one security assessment. And this is, again, looking at protocol analyzers, network scanners, password crackers, vulnerability scanners, configuration compliance scanners, exploitation frameworks, data sanitization tools, stenography tools, honeypots, backup utilities, banner grabbing, passive versus active attacks, and scanning, and command line tools. Again, another subdomain that's going to be chock full of things. And again, we'll point you at some open source tools, some tools you can use to protect yourself on your own network, on your small office, home office network, or if you're doing this stuff for an organization, some place you can get some free or even less expensive tools to do this stuff. 2.3, given a scenario, troubleshoot common security issues. Obviously, we'll call this security issues. Unencrypted credentials in clear text, bad things, log events and anomalies, permission issues, access violations, certificate issues, data exfiltration, which is really what the bad guy is after now, misconfigured devices, how to get those things back correct, weak security configurations, personnel issues, unauthorized software, baseline deviations, license compliance violations, which is a violation of availability and integrity. Not sure why the domain or the Security Plus guide calls that out particularly, but it does. Asset management and authentication issues. 2.4, given a scenario, analyze and interpret output from security technology. So we're going to be looking at the output from some of the devices we talked about earlier, including HIDs and HIPs, host intrusion prevention systems and host intrusion detection systems, antivirus, file integrity checks, host-based firewalls, application whitelisting, removable media, malware tools, advanced malware tools, patch management, UTM, DLP, data execution prevention, web application firewalls. 4.5, how about one more time? 2.5, given a scenario, deploy mobile devices securely. We're talking about connection methods, mobile device management concepts, enforcement and monitoring, and deployment modules. This one will probably do a decent lab where we take one of the home-based access points. And remember, those home-based access points have a lot of security tools built into them. They have a small router in there. They've got normally some security tools like a firewall and some types of intrusion detection systems of their own, and obviously they've got the access point. So there's a lot of things we can take a access point you've probably got in your house, and we can take that thing and look at some of these concepts. So this is good. This is a good one to jump into and actually get elbows deep in getting your home devices secure. And then last but not least, given a scenario, implement security protocols. And we talk about some of the different protocols and the use cases in them. So that's what's ahead of us for Domain 2. We're going to jump in deep and fast on this domain this week. There's a lot to cover. We're going to try to get going. Once we're done with Domain 1 and Domain 2, you're over 40% prepared for the exam. That's how big these things are. We've got 4 more domains to go. The topic list become a little shorter as we move further into the upper domains. So when we get into domains 5 and 6, they're a lot less topics than we have here up front. Like I said before, domains 1 and domains 2 are setting the foundational levels for you moving forward. So if you're going to take Security Plus exam, if you are going to just want to get better in your security career, this is a place to go. We're going to turn the April Security Plus playlist around so it actually plays from the front to the back instead of playing backwards. So we'll turn that around so it plays the right way. Do that today. The other thing of note, Jimmy, you could obviously cut this out of the playback for later, but I can't get the trivia up there. Let's see what is going on with that. There we go. We did have trivia night. If you were around Friday night last week, Friday 7 p.m. Eastern time, Mike Bravo came out and just destroyed it again. This is the second trivia night in a row that Mike Bravo's come out. Not only did he overall winner for the trivia night, but when the Illy coffee alarm went off, he won his container of Illy coffee. So he got both prizes on Friday night. Somebody's got to come out. We're going to move it to another night, probably a weeknight now that people are coming off of restriction off of quarantine. There's a lot of people getting out, and Friday nights become a night people want to get out. So we're probably going to move trivia night off of that and onto one of the weeknights. Not sure which one. I'm kind of looking maybe even at Monday. Not sure. But we'll figure it out before the midweek point, before tomorrow or Thursday. Let you know when trivia night is moving to. It's a fun time. Come out between 40 and 50 questions. It's been pretty consistently 40 questions. Takes just about an hour to get through it. Test your security chops. See how you can do. But anyways, as always, it's important for you guys, if you would, share with your friends. That's how we get our traction here on YouTube. Like, comment, hit that bell to be notified when new content comes out. That will include when Cup of Cyber goes live, and also when we go live with trivia. So, as always, I'm Jim with Cyber-Recon, and please, please be safe out there.